Compete, crack, conquer.
A challenging GATE contest engineered to give you an experience like none other.
where you put your knowledge to test.
and battle it out with a test.
To bring out the best in you, Unacademy Combat is the most competitive, gamified contest for GATE till date, with the best of the questions by best educators.
With detailed video solutions from top educators right after each contest.
Combat live with peers to get real-time rankings and win big.
Participate in every contest to improve your ratings.
Challenging contests every fortnight or alternate Sunday. Live ranking after every question. Big rewards for top rankers. Your passion to crack GATE deserves this. Your hard work towards your dream deserves this. Fuel your inner fire for the ultimate GATE challenge. Unacademy Combat. Register now.
Hello and very good evening to all of you. Good evening to everyone and very welcome to Unacademy. So the session that we are going to do today is about adjectives. With a short recap, we are going to start. We started with parts of speech. In that we have done nouns, we have finished pronouns, we have done verbs and adverbs. And now today we are going to do adjectives. Adjectives, you can see the words over here, fast, slow. So we are going to learn a lot more words like these. And first of all, we are going to understand what is an adjective. But before anything, I'm going to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Mita and I have been training, guiding, motivating and counseling lots of students for GATE, ESE and other state public service commissions. I'm a certified coach by the British Council. I have almost about 12 plus years of teaching experience and subjects that I take up are English and aptitude. The first thing that you got to do is download Unacademy. Download Unacademy and first of all start following me at Mita so that you get all the updates and notifications of the upcoming sessions. Talking about our plus and iconic patches, we have live classes, crash courses, weekly tests, doubt solving, English, Hindi. Yes, we have started our lectures in English and Hindi. The computer science batch has started batches in both English and Hindi. And of course, we will be having a lot of rank booster sessions for all our students. If you are going to go in for iconic, you are going to get all these benefits, plus you are going to get a personal coach with you. And that personal coach is going to give you study planners, booster sessions, test analysis, and you are going to get a ready preparatory material, which is going to be very helpful to all of you. Now, the subscription rates for the plus are for 12 months, you are going to pay 27 to 25, 18 months, you are going to pay 34,650, and for 24 months, you're going to pay 39,600. For all the subscriptions, you can go ahead and use my code, that is Mita S10, which will give you a benefit of 10% discount. And for the same way, if you want to go in for Iconic, you can go in for a 12-month course, or you can go for a 24-month course, which is going to be 45 to 25, 66,600 respectively. And you can use my code Mita S10 over here to get a 10% discount. Now, the computer science channel, the URL for us is Unacademy Gate CS. You can join the Telegram channel because we put all the updates over there. We keep all notifications over there time to time. And so you will be notified whenever a lecture is going to start. Okay. So now we are going to start today with some words of the day. It's very important to improve your vocabulary. It's very important to know a lot of words and to make a great word bank for all of us. So words every day, learn some new words. Today we are going to learn few words starting with I am. The first word over here is imperative. Now what does imperative mean? Yes? Imperative means something that is very important, or you can say something that is utmost important, something that is utmost important, or maybe you can say something that is necessary, utmost necessary. Another word that we are going to learn is impulsive. You might have heard somebody telling you that you have a very impulsive nature. So when a person is impulsive, what does a person do? To do something suddenly, or I can also say maybe hurriedly, or something very quickly. Okay. So maybe for being impulsive, a person is not very thoughtful. So you just do it something out of the blues, something very impulsively. The third word that we are going to learn today is impetuous. So what does impetuous mean? Something that is done rash behavior, done very rashly, or again, something done very hastily. So moreover, impulsive and impetuous both have more or less the same meaning. Now, let's understand eminent. We have two words, eminent and imminent. The word eminent is used for a famous person. We can say a famous person or personality. That is eminent. And the word imminent means something that is about to happen. The word imminent means something that is about to happen. And immense. Now, just like impulsive, when we say immense, immense is a lot, too much. So what the words can we use over here is huge, or we can say vast, or we can say massive. Massive also means a lot. Okay. So these are the 5 words of the day. Each and every day, students each and every day try and learn new words and make your word bank very powerful. The more words you have in your word bank, the more chances of doing your paper excellently. whether it is GATE or you are doing your ATC, both the places you are going to require a lot of vocabulary. And to improve vocabulary, you need to improve your word bank. You need to learn more and more words every day. Understand the prefixes of the word, the suffixes put to that, and the root. The root is the actual meaning of the word. Okay. So that is what is very important. So these were the words of the day. And now we move on to the topic of the day, adjective. Okay, and we have a lot of questions in the previous years. I had done today in my special class also. My special class every day is at 4 p.m. on the app. And today also I had done quite a few previous year questions, which I do every day. Apart from previous year questions, what I do is I explain the concept. My concept explanation happens on YouTube, while practice happens on the app. So you have to be there at the Unacademy special class and take a lot of practice. So every day we do a lot of practice. In my practice, I will be also doing whatever I have done in the morning. Like if I have practiced adjectives, I'm going to explain or rather give you practice on a lot of adjectives. Apart from that, we have a lot of word practice. We have one words we have one word substitutes. We have detection of errors, and yes, a lot of practice questions. Now, going on to our topic for today, an adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. Now, I have already told you what is a noun and what is a pronoun. So, when you add some word ahead of a noun or a pronoun, which is describing the noun, is called. Very good evening, Didi Sukla. Very good evening to you, bacha. So when you add a word that is describing, we call it an adjective. Now look at these sentences. It is normally. It is what? The adjective. Okay. The adjective is normally placed before a noun, but sometimes it can be placed after a noun. So every time, don't think that whatever word is just put before the noun has to be an adjective. Sometimes, depending on the structure of the sentence, the word may come even after the noun. So keep looking for exactly the word that is describing the noun, which will give you the answer that it is an adjective. Now, this question is easy. Over here, easy is my adjective. Okay. And what is my noun over here? Question. Noun is question, which is an abstract noun. So this is also an adjective. That man is poor. Poor is my adjective. And that, because man is my noun, and that also happens to be an adjective. Now we are going to understand further what are the types of adjectives. So far clear to all of you what is an adjective, and besides that, of course, I hope you are going to all keep in your memory the new words that we learn every day. Try to memorize, or rather than memorizing, try to understand the meaning, try to understand the pronunciations, and try to improve your vocabulary. Let's move on to the okay. So you are Shivam. Okay. Shivam, good evening. Kinds of adjective. Types of adjectives that we are going to do. How many types of adjectives do we have? The first kind of adjective is quality. The first kind of adjective is quality. These describe the quality of a person or a thing. The word itself, the word quality shows what kind, description, quality. Yes, the word itself tells us the quality. These describe the quality of a person or a thing. She told me a funny story. So over here, what is the quality? First of all, what is my noun? Very good evening, Sudhanshu. Very good evening to you, Bacha. And welcome to the class. So now Sudhanshu and Shivam, both are going to give me the answers, okay? So that story here is my noun. And the word that is describing, what is describing my story? It's a funny story. So the funny word is my adjective. And how does it describe? It describes Sunday we will not have a class. Sudhanshu, no class on Sunday. And tomorrow I don't think we will be having a class in the evening. But yes, I'm going to have a special session in the morning at 9:30. You can join that on YouTube. And again, I'm going to have one more session at 11:30, which is going to tell you the Bharat Electricals, the job vacancies in Bharat Electricals. Okay. Now, funny. Funny is describing the quality. Similarly, situation is my noun, and situation is what? An abstract noun, because I can just feel the situation, but I cannot touch that. And what is it? How is it? Difficult. So here again, this is the quality. Okay. Now, quantity. Now here in our adjectives, try to understand two things. One is adjectives of quantity. The other one is adjectives of number. So when it is quantity, quantity is going to be for uncountables. When the word has something which is uncountable, it's going to be adjective of quantity, whereas the words can be enough, much. Okay. Where do you ask the question? How much? We have enough stock for a month. The car gave me much trouble. So these are the words much and enough, but we cannot count them. Enough means certain quantity. We cannot count that. So we call them uncountable and adjectives of quantity. Now talking about adjectives of numbers. Numbers is something which is countable. So these tell us how many. And the other one tells us what? How much. So there's a difference in many and much. Whenever the word many comes, you can count. And whenever you see the word much, it means you cannot count. These tell us how many person or things are meant. Many friends helped me. So you can count the number of friends, right? He can speak several languages. So you can count the number of languages. 5 passengers got into the bus. Here also you can count. You can use 5 also, and you can also use the word fifth. Okay. So 5 would be your cardinal number and fifth is going to be your ordinal number. So you can use both of them. Now, demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives show you where, point out. Okay. They point out to a person or a thing. These walls need to be painted. Such students always get good marks. Now these, what are these? My wall over here is my noun, and these are showing me where. So it's a demonstrative adjective. Students over here is the common noun, and such students. So such students is my demonstrative adjective. Okay. So the words this, these, that, those, yonder, such, and certain, all these are what? Demonstrative adjectives. So whenever you see all these words, they are demonstrative adjectives. Okay, clear so far? So let's move on to the other one. Interrogative adjectives. As I've always said, interrogative adjectives is or interrogative adverb, interrogative adjective, interrogative pronoun. everywhere. It's so simple that you have to just look for what? A question mark. This one is, I think, the simplest one. An adjective which, when used with a noun, asks a question is called an interrogative adjective. So it is used with a noun. Now, which umbrella is yours? Which umbrella? So my noun over here is what? Umbrella. And what is umbrella? It's my common noun. Umbrella says a common noun. And which umbrella? So what is this? Interrogative adjective. Similarly, when I say whose painting is the best? Now painting over here is my noun. And whose is asking, so that is adjective. Clear? Okay, let's move on to the next one. So how many have we done so far? We did adjectives of quality, quantity, number, and which is the other one that we did? Quality, quantity, number, demonstrative, and interrogative. And now we are going to do possessive. Possessive, the word itself tells us what? The owning. When you own something, it's called possession. These show possession or belongings. Your dresses are elegant. So what does it say? Your dresses. It shows possession of the dress. Our car needs repairs. So here also it shows the possession. We went to his house. Whose house? His house. So it shows the possession. So what is the question that we ask over here? Whose house? Yes, we ask the question, whose house, whose dress, whose car, right? So we get the answer, your, our, and his. All these are called possessive nouns. Now let's move on to the other. Now for these possessive nouns, we use different words for masculine, feminine, for neuter, when it is singular, and when it is plural. My, his, her, its, all these possessive adjectives all these possessive adjectives are used for singular people. That is my, his, her, and its. When you are going to talk about anything that is plural, more than one, you say our. So for all of us, our and their. Similarly, when you have your can be used for both singular and plural. When we have something which we have to say, this is your. So your or yours, in both the cases, singular and plural, both remains your. His is masculine, her is feminine, and its, whenever you use, it's for neuter. Neuter is what? Anything that is non-living. Anything that is non-living, we call it its. My, our, your, both masculine and feminine. When we say it's mine, it could be for a woman, it could be for a man. When we say our, it could be for girls and boys together. And when we say your, similarly, it could be for any gender. Okay, so this could be for any gender. So it's common. My, our, and your. Now there also can be used for all, masculine, feminine, and neuter. So my, our, your, and their are used for commonly for all the genders. Clear so far? Okay. Now we are going to move on to the exercise where we have to pick up the adjectives and also say what kind they are. So who's going to give me the answer to this? Come on. A grand function was organized to launch the car. Let me see how many of you can answer this question. Where can you see an adjective over here and what kind the adjective is? For the first one, what is the adjective over here? A grand function was organized to launch the car. So what is the adjective over here? Yes, a grand function was organized to launch the car. Which one is the adjective? Who's going to tell me which one is the adjective over here? Yes? Does anyone know which word is the adjective over here? Yes, very good, Harpreet. Very good. Yes, grand is the adjective. Perfect. Grand is adjective over here. And grand is what? Adjective of quality. It says what kind of it was. Yes, so grand is for quality. Now for the second one, what present shall I bring for you? Now the second one is extremely easy. Yes, because we said that we have to look out for what? To call it which one. It's extremely easy. What is my noun over here? Does anyone know which one is the second one? What present shall I bring for you? Who's going to try the second one? Second one is extremely easy. Yes, we can see the question mark out here, and that is the biggest hint that we get. So what is it? The second one. Very good. Perfect. What is my adjective and which one is it? Interrogative. Now moving on to the third one. What is the third one? His friends brought many books for him. So where is my adjective over here? His friends brought many books for him. Who's going to tell me over here? His friends brought many books for him. Very good. Many is going to be quantity. And there is one more adjective over here. That is whose friends? His friends. So what are these his friends over here? Possessive. Because friends is my noun. Clear? Okay. Now let's move on to the fourth one. Ruchita is an intelligent student. Ruchita is an intelligent student. Yes, very perfect. Intelligent is the word and it's a quality. Now moving on to the fifth one. We have enough food for a month. So here what is my adjective? We have enough food for a month. What is the adjective going to be over here? Enough food for a month. Okay. What is my noun first of all? My noun is food. Okay. Noun is the food over here, which is a common noun. And enough, yes, enough is about a quantity. Very perfect. And for the last one, yes, several languages. So we can count these languages several. So it's going to be the adjective of number. Clear to all of you? Yes, very good. And that was really nice of Harpreet, and yes, about who else was here with me giving the answers? Yes, Shivam and Harpreet, very good. Now, this is going to improve your vocabulary further, and these are the type of questions that we always get. You need to understand all this and give one word for substitutes. This may come in several forms. It may come in the fill in the blank, it may come as an antonym, it may come as a synonym. So, this is all the practice that we are doing. A bunch of flowers. What do we call a bunch of flowers? Yes, give me one word for a bunch of flowers. What do we call this? Very common. You might have given this to a lot of people. And what is it called? A bunch of flowers. Yes? Who's going to answer to this one? What is a bunch of flowers called? Do we give these things to a lot of people? We give this on birthdays. We give this on several occasions. So what is a bunch of flowers called? Happiness. A bunch of flowers is called a bouquet. Okay. So a bunch of flowers is called a bouquet. Yes, of course, it gives a lot of happiness, but it is called a bouquet. Record of one's life written by someone else. When somebody else writes about us, when we write for ourselves, what is it called? When I write a book about my life, it's called an autobiography. Yes, very perfect. And when someone else is writing, it's called a biography. Very perfect. Now, a place where beer is manufactured. What is a place where beer is manufactured? Wine factory? No, no, no. There is a particular name for this. A place where beer is manufactured is called a brewery. Okay, beer is brewed and the place is called a brewery. Now, one who sells sweets and pastries. What would you call a person? We are not asking the place. Here we are asking the person, one who sells. Okay. So what is one who sells sweets and pastries is called? What do we call him? Any idea? Okay, the one who sells sweets and pastries is called a confectioner. Try and remember these words and learn these words. Fit them into your vocabulary, which will definitely help you in solving your paper better. Place with gambling tables. Now, what is a place where a lot of gambling is done? Any idea? Have you ever been to a place where you have seen a lot of gambling tables or where the gambling is done? What is that place called? Yes, anyone? Okay, documentary is a film. Documentary is a short film. Documentary is a short film that is made and written. The book that is written is called a biography. Documentary is a short film. And place where gambling tables are there is called a casino. Okay, clear so far? Now, let's move on to idioms. Idioms are very important because you get them in your paper. So you need to learn and understand a lot of idioms. Make up one's mind. What do we say when we write make up one's mind? To make up one's mind. Very good, Harpreet. Yes, casino. So what do we say when we say make up one's mind? To make up your mind is to take a decision, or we can say to decide. So that is to make up your mind. Now, in the long run, we sometimes we say that it will be seen upon, or it will be taken care of in the long run. So, in the long run, what is the meaning of in the long run? Now, these idioms, the ones that I have put up here, they are very, very commonly used. And time to time, they keep appearing in lot of papers, whether it is for your ATC papers or is it for your verbal section of GATE. But these idioms keep coming, and especially the common ones. To make up one's mind is to take a decision, and in the long run, we can say eventually. In the long run means eventually, or we can say ultimately. Now, in the nick of time. When do we say in the nick of time? I would say that I reached to school in the nick of time. So, what does it mean? Just in time. Or we can also say just at the last moment. Okay? Through thick and thin. Now, whenever you see words like these, say thick and thin, foul and fair. So, all these words mean that there is a contrast meaning in the answer. Contrast is thick and thin, means all difficult times. Hello, Rahul. How are you, bacha? A very good evening to you, Rahul. Through thick and thin means under all circumstances or under all conditions. We can say under all conditions, or we can say under all circumstances. Now, with a high hand. What does a high hand mean? Have you ever heard of this? With a high hand. Who keeps a high hand? Very good evening, Shashank. Very good evening to you, bacha. So, what does with a high hand mean? Yes, students, what are you pursuing? All of you for GATE or anyone over here for ATC? Yes? Are you all preparing for GATE or you are preparing for air traffic? Which class? All aspirants for GATE 22, 23, or anyone is going to go for the ATC exams that are going to happen somewhere in a month or 2 months? If all of you are preparing for GATE, yes, Saransh, very welcome, bacha. One who worries, no. One who worries, high hand. High hand means somebody who is oppressive. Somebody who behaves oppressively. Or we can say GATE. Okay, placements. So if you all are preparing for GATE, this is the correct time because I have just started with my curriculum and grammar is a very, very important part. Grammar is absolutely important. Okay, GATE plus PSUs. Fine, Rahul, very good. Grammar is something which is very, very important and you need to practice grammar. It's not going to help you over here, only here, I mean to say, but this is also going to help you everywhere. Grammar is something which you will require for your language throughout your life. And once you know your grammar well, you know your language well. Your vocabulary is good and your communication is good. So all this is interlinked. So make a perfect communication, because a good communication can make you reach different heights. If you can communicate well, you can definitely do well at your jobs. Your interviews are also going to require a lot of verbal. So you have to be good with your communication. And if your grammar is good, you are not going to stop for words or for sentences. Okay? So keep improving your English, keep improving your grammar. Now, the words is forcibly. So to keep a high hand, somebody who is oppressive, who keeps a high hand, somebody who is oppressive, who suppresses people. Okay. Now let's move on to one PYQ. Now, what is the PYQ of the day? His knowledge of the subject was excellent, but his classroom skills were dash. Extremely poor, good, desirable, or praiseworthy. Now, come on, who is going to give me the answer to this? I'm going to wait for all your answers. Tell me, this is one of the previous year questions for GATE. His knowledge of the subject was excellent, but his classroom skills were dash. So what is the answer going to be? Extremely poor, good, desirable, or praiseworthy? What do you think is the answer? Yes, is anyone going to try giving me the answer to this one? His knowledge of the subject was excellent, but his classroom skills were dash. Extremely poor, good, desirable, or praiseworthy? Who's going to try giving me the answer for this one? His knowledge of the subject was excellent. No answers? No one wants to try this one? Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer to this one. His knowledge of the subject was excellent, but his classroom skills were extremely poor. Now, why this answer? Look at this over here. A but in the sentence always shows that you are looking for a contradiction. Yes, Rahul, very good. You are looking for a contradiction. And what is it? Was excellent. So you are looking for something that is opposite of excellent. Now, words over here, good is a positive word. Desirable also is a positive word. Praiseworthy also is a positive word. There's only one, poor, which is a negative word. And we are looking for a negative word because excellent is a positive word. And but means you are looking for a contradiction. And so your answer has to be extremely poor. And so the answer is going to be A. Clear to you? Okay. Thank you for the session. Do like if you have really liked the session. Subscribe to the channel. Share the session to lots of friends who do require to understand grammar, to learn grammar. This is the great time to start learning, because for 22 and 23, this is the right time to start learning for your verbal section. I had lots of students for 21 who started preparing for verbal towards the very end of the class. So now when you start preparing for the very end of the class, you have your core subjects to deal with, and then you have your verbal section, which makes it very difficult. So right now you are just at the start and you can understand your verbal right from the basics. You can learn your grammar, you can improve your language, you can improve your vocabulary, and um, secure a great rank at your gate. So, like the session, share it, subscribe it, and see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.